Hello ladies! Hello everyone in the group. Welcome to my presentation, 5 Steps to Overcoming Postpartum Depression and Anxiety. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to ask any questions in the comments, and be sure to watch till the very end because I will be sharing a very, very special surprise, and I'm super excited about it. So again, if you're watching the replay, feel free to or make sure to watch till the end because there'll be a wonderful bonus at the end for everyone. So I hope everybody can see my screen here that I'm sharing with you right here. So we're going to go through 5 steps to overcoming postpartum depression and anxiety as a new mom. I know these are some of the biggest things that have come up with clients, with myself, and just through my training of knowing what's helpful for moms. And so we're gonna work on going through all these steps and work on doing all of that. And I'm hoping people are going to be joining me live, and then we will be right away here, and then we can have a Q&A at the very end, and I have a special video to share with you, and I have some other exciting things to share with you. So let's get started, and if people are joining late, they can always just jump on and watch the replay. So I kind of have an interesting setup here. We'll see how it works. So get back to being yourself and enjoying your life, laughing with your family and your children. So who this is for any women who are struggling with postpartum depression and anxiety, who want to get feeling better, get that joy back in your life, enjoy your family, enjoy the things you used to enjoy. You know, maybe not even just your family, just getting out and doing and figuring out who you are. I know I hear that a lot from women, and it's a big change becoming a mother. It's a big change. So get back that joy, get back to feeling good, get back to enjoying life, and doing the things that you like and the things that bring you joy and bring you that freedom and that flexibility and that balance, right? So that's who this is for, and I'm sure everyone in this group who I'm sharing this with today can relate to that, and this is directed towards you guys. So does this sound like you? Excuse me, because I can't really read everything on there. If you have trouble sleeping or you're sleeping too much, I know that is a big thing. Some people have more insomnia and aren't able to sleep, and other people have times when they're sleeping so much. And if you're joining me live, feel free to say hi in the comments. I'd love to see who's joining me, and make any comments or ask any questions throughout. So if you're unable to function fully in your day-to-day activities, you feel like your family's being neglected, have a lack of confidence, feel sad, worried, angry, upset, tired, alone. There's a lot of feelings that come with postpartum depression and anxiety, and a lot of emotions, and it can be different for everybody. It's very multifaceted and very different for everybody. So some of this stuff is lots of different things. So you may find that bits and pieces apply to you, and bits and pieces may apply to somebody else. So that's how that is. Lack of confidence. Lay awake worrying about your weight and or your baby. So a lot of the times that can be those worries that happen, right? It can be even intrusive thoughts and things like that. So those are very common, and you could be relating to that. End up snapping at your partner and or children. So that anger piece, that uncontrollable rage and that anger that can happen when we are a new mother. That's huge. That's a huge piece. So I know some of you can relate, and some of you are excited to see my Facebook Live I'm going to be doing next week about that. So we'll touch a little bit on that in this presentation here, but yeah, I'll dig in a bit deeper on that in our next Facebook Live. So I know some of you guys can relate to that. It feels hard every single day. You feel like you have no friends. I know it's a big change when we become new mothers and we don't have any friends who we can relate to. Worry about your health and whether you're doing the right things for your children. That's a very common worry, and you may be able to relate to that. You feel like you have no help. Nobody's there to help you and support you through all of that. You have anxiety and worry about every little thing. It's hard to do basic tasks because you feel tired and uncomfortable. You don't want to play with your kids as much as you used to. So those could be common things that may sound like you, and you may be experiencing one or a few of these. Like I said, it's multifaceted. It's going to look different for everyone, and that's okay. So if any of these, if you can relate to any of these, you are in the right place. So let's get moving on. So if you want more confidence, if you want to connect more with your children, if you're wanting to not snap at your loved ones, not have that uncontrollable anger and rage, you want to be more emotionally stable, you want to have more time, you want to get more sleep and feel rested, you want to enjoy your family activities, want to wear your pre-pregnancy clothing. I know that's a big one. Getting rid of that weight, that unwanted weight after pregnancy. So let me know, ladies, can you see my slides fairly well on your screen there? I know on the phone it's a little small. I tried to make everything look as best as I could so you could see my slides while I'm talking about all of this. So let me know in the comments. So, more energy. I know that was a big one for me. More energy to chase after my little ones, keep up with my little ones. Having that confidence bit shows up a lot. As mothers, when we're struggling with postpartum depression and anxiety, a lot of the time we lose that confidence and we lose that peace, and we're feeling down and we're not feeling as great as we used to before we were mothers, right? So let me know if you can relate to any of these things or some of these things, things that you're going through right now. I know I sure went through a few of those things. So I'm going to show you today 5 steps to overcoming postpartum depression and anxiety, as what the title says. How you can get back to being yourself, how you can start enjoying your family and start laughing with your children. I know that's a big piece for me. I love enjoying the little moments and the little precious times with my 2 girls. It's amazing. So ways that you can process your emotions so that you can start to feel peace and calm. And I know that is a big destination point that a lot of us want to get to, is feeling that peace and calm. And learning how to get out of that anxiety and that stressful state and getting to that more peaceful and calm place in our lives. How to ask for what you need so that you can feel more in control. So this is huge. Being able to ask for help. I know I was asked this the other day, something that I would tell my younger self. Well, I would tell my younger self to ask for help more often. If I had somebody to come and hold my hand and say, let's do this, let's figure out who you can ask for help and build that support system, which actually I did at some point, and that's what's brought me there to where I am today. But that was a big thing. So asking for help is a big thing, and getting help and support. So who am I? Most of you may already know. My name is Amy Bolton. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. I work as a pregnancy outreach worker, and I work with families 0 to 6. I love working with families in that age range, prenatal to postpartum up to 6. And I love working with all the families I work with. I am in a doula training right now, actually currently doing some postpartum doula stuff, and it's really exciting. My last training that I just did was breastfeeding, postpartum anxiety, depression stuff, and trauma stuff. So I'm always keeping updated on trainings and things like that, and I just love what I do there. So I'm the mom of 2 girls, Gia and Arya, and I love them to bits. I'm also the mom of 2 dogs, and actually some of you have seen I have 2 new kittens. And so our 2 new kittens, and we love them. I love animals. I founded a animal rescue nonprofit society before I had my girls, and that was a big passion of mine before I started doing this work and working as a before I became a mom and started kind of in this line of work. I loved working with animals. I also love cooking, baking, gardening, and playing hockey. I'm excited for the hockey season. So yeah, I live in northern BC, Canada, and it's already started snowing up here, and I'm excited for the ice to be frozen so I can play hockey. So let me know if there's any other hockey players, or if you can relate to any of these things: cooking, baking, gardening, etc. I know there's gardeners in our group. And I also struggled with postpartum depression and anxiety after both of my pregnancies, so I'm here to help you with that. So here are some pictures of me in some of the places I've been. There's me on the beach, pulling my girls in the winter in the snow. I love the winter time. We're out getting a Christmas tree there. There's me with my pregnant belly while I had my first daughter. Some carrots that my neighbor grew in her garden there, and she passed over the fence. I was pretty impressed with her crop of carrots there. And then, yeah, so pictures of me playing hockey, and then a picture of me in the mountains there. So these are some of the pictures of things that I love. So we'll get started with 5 steps to overcoming postpartum depression and anxiety as a new mom. Getting back to being yourself, enjoying your family, and laughing with your children. Those are all the things that I'm sure we all aim to be doing and enjoying. So step 1, learning more about postpartum depression and anxiety. So just knowing a bit more about this, and even prior to having your little ones, it's a good thing to know about. And I know we always talk with our prenatal clients at work about all of this. So it's very important to know more about postpartum depression and anxiety. So by doing this, it will allow you to acknowledge that things are not quite right. You will learn more about postpartum depression, and you will be able to gain an understanding of how it's affecting you. You will come to understand that postpartum depression is a complex problem, and that there isn't a simple answer when you ask, what can I do to feel better? So it's going to look different, like I said, for everyone. It's multifaceted, it's different for everybody. And when you ask, what can I do to feel better, it is going to look different for everyone. So that is why working one-on-one with clients, we come up with unique individual plans for each individual that works specifically for them and for their family. So that's that. You'll be able to begin your journey towards feeling like yourself and connecting with your baby and your family. So this is huge, you know, feeling like yourself and feeling more connected to yourself, and knowing kind of who you are and what you like and what joys you can bring into your life now that you're a new mom, because things change a lot as we become mothers, as I'm sure you're all very much aware of that. So action step for this is to take some time to learn more about postpartum depression and anxiety, and learn about how your postpartum depression or anxiety may be affecting you. So that's your action step here. So you may want to take notes and write down these action steps so you can take that time to do those things. So step 2 is making your health and happiness a priority. This is big. I know as moms, we're always giving to others, we're always helping others, we're caregivers, we're constantly worried about what other people are doing. And so it's a big mindset shift for us to put our health and happiness in the number 1 seat and make sure we're being taken care of, right? So again, we've all heard the saying, put your own oxygen mask on first. But, we really do need to implement that. It's very, very important. Thinking about what you used to do to make your health and happiness a priority before you had a baby. So what was it that you used to do, that you enjoyed doing, that you found helpful, and that brought you that joy and that those good feelings? So what were those things? Thinking about that, maybe doing some journaling on it. Be mindful of what works for you, because what works for someone else may not work for you. We're all different, right? So something that works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. We're all different and unique individuals. So by doing this, you'll be able to feel better and get back to being yourself. You can also better understand your needs, being more aware of what you want. Sometimes we don't even really know what we want or what our needs really are until we start looking at that. We're just so overwhelmed with everything, right? Being new mothers. So action step is making a list of the things you need to do to make your health and happiness priority. So you can journal about all of these things and figure out kind of what is going to make you feel good. What brought that light into your day before? What things can you do to make your health and happiness a priority? Even if they're just small things, right? Okay, so for step 3, giving yourself time to process your emotions. So it's, there's a lot of big emotions that come with this, and it can be hard. So when we ignore our emotions thinking that we're being nice, feelings of anger and sadness can come up in inappropriate ways. So there's this analogy of the leaky wood stove. So if we keep ignoring our emotions and our feelings that are coming up, you imagine an old wood stove, and if there was a little leak in it, what ends up happening is we ignore all of our emotions, and then, as you can imagine, if there's a leak in the wood stove, it slowly starts seeping out, and it can start affecting everybody in the house or the building or whatever. And that's what can happen if we are not dealing with our emotions, is they can start seeping out in ways that we're not even aware of and not even knowing, and it starts affecting the people around us. It slowly starts affecting them, and it can start hurting them, right? And so think about it that way, is that we need to be focusing on our emotions. So when we ignore our emotions, thinking that we're being nice, feelings of anger and sadness can come up. This can hurt family members and friends, which results in unhealthy relationships. We may feel guilty about this. So when that leaky wood stove leaks out and we start to feel that way, we can have that guilt that comes up. So let me know if you can relate to that. Like, have you had those guilty feelings because of some of these emotions that start to come out in different ways? Let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of that. Once you work through your emotions, you will start to feel peace and calm. You will then be able to enjoy your baby and family. Some of the emotions you may need to work through, and not some of us have some of them, some of us have more of them, and that's okay because we're all different. So sadness, anger, numbness or lack of feelings, fear, anxiety, panic attacks, intrusive thoughts, and decreased sexual feelings. So these are all big things that come up with women struggling through postpartum depression and anxiety, and those are the emotions that we have to work through, and we have to figure out what's going on there and give ourselves space and time to do that. So an action step for you is to go for a walk or scream in your car when no one else is present. Allow yourself time and space to cry, or take some slow breaths through your nose. You can do one or all of these, whatever feels right for you. Those are some strategies to dealing with your emotions as they're coming up. So those are some things you can try as you're going through that. So asking for what you need is a big thing. Like I said earlier, is as moms, we feel we need to do everything. We kind of everything gets put on our shoulders, or so it feels like it, and it becomes difficult sometimes as caregivers to be asking for what we need, because we're always giving, right? So some of the reasons that we need to ask for what we need, this will help your partner and your family understand where you are and how best to help you, because they don't know what we're going through. They can't read our minds and our thoughts. By standing up for yourself, you will start to feel like you are in more control. And some of the things you can do to help with this is make a list of what you need to ask for help with. Write down your thoughts and what you want to say. Use language like I want or I need, because then it's going to be coming from your perspective. There's going to be no blaming associated with it, right? So think about those things. Think about doing these journaling exercises and writing things down to see what you need, and maybe figuring out what you do need. We may not even be aware of what we actually need until we start really trying to process through that. So those are some of the things you can try for that. Number 5 is to get support and develop a support system. This is a huge, huge step and a very, very important step. I remember breaking down, having a huge moment of like when somebody asked me what my support system was, and I had no clue. I was so lost. I was just, it was terrifying. It was scary. I broke down in tears, and I now know the value of this support system and how huge it is. My own growth has been a direct result of me getting support. I've spent time in counseling. I've also invested in a health coach to help me. These have been some of the best steps I've made towards taking care of myself. So I'm constantly investing in my own health. I'm constantly seeking other support systems for me and building other support systems around me and becoming aware of what supports I do have to keep myself strong and keep that maintenance, right? Maintain my mental health. You may not be able to see yourself clearly where you're getting stuck. So somebody else to be there to help kind of identify where you're getting stuck or help you clearly see that. It's important to get support as soon as you can. The longer you wait, it can be a bit more difficult to get out of, a deeper, more difficult depression. So getting support is very, very important. As soon as you are aware that things are not quite right, start building that support system. It's very, very important. If you don't, like I said, you may end up in a deeper depression or more difficult anxiety, and it may be more difficult to get out of it. And it can last for years. I know I've seen women who don't get help, and 3-4 years later, their babies are 3 or 4 years old, and they're like just coming out of this fog, like, what is going on, right? So it's so very, very important. And I know most postpartum support groups will take moms till baby's about 3, and that's generally where the cutoff is, although women do find that they're looking for help beyond that too. So if you are in the early phases of it, remember to get that support and that help, because what's it going to look like if you don't get help now and your baby, next thing you know, is 3-4 years old and you're still struggling, right? So let's get those new habits started now to get you feeling better, right? So the other thing, it may take you longer to bond with your baby if you're not getting support. You may miss out on milestones with your baby and your children. Just imagine 4 years later, like, think of the things you may have missed because you hadn't seeked out support. You hadn't sought out support, found that support system, figured that out. That's huge, and I don't want any of you to be experiencing that. Your relationship with your partner may end up on a rocky road, and I know this is huge. Our relationships with our partners face a lot of struggles during the motherhood period and becoming a new mom, and it can get worse if we're not seeking help. Things just can progress that way, so it's very important. This is a huge, huge, huge step. Okay. So the power of the support, you will get accountability. So somebody to keep you accountable for your actions. Make sure you're keeping on track with your goals. Guidance, that support, that guidance, that, to keep you on track with things. Feedback for what you're doing and how you're doing, and that encouragement, all that, bring you up for those wins, those wonderful things that you're doing. They may seem small and you may not see them, but an extra support system will help you see those things and help you celebrate those wins and start to see the good things as you progress, right? So feedback is huge. Insight on what's keeping you stuck. So dig a little bit deeper and figure out why you are getting stuck and where you're getting stuck. To start feeling better quicker if you weren't doing this alone, and getting you the results you want. So a support system will be focused on helping you get the results you want, and that's huge. You want to get feeling good and get to the goals that you love. So today you learned 5 steps to overcoming postpartum depression and anxiety, how you can get back to being yourself, and how you can start enjoying your family and start laughing with your children, ways to process your emotions so that you can start feeling peace and calm, how to ask for what you need so that you can feel more in control, right? So these are the things we've been talking about. So these are the steps that we went through. We went through learning more about postpartum depression and anxiety, making your health and happiness a priority, giving yourself time to process your emotions, and asking for what you need. Getting support and developing a support system. And again, I will emphasize that is very, very important. Because some of those first steps, how are you going to do them if you don't have that accountability and that support, right? So you have two options. You have the option to continue what you're doing and possibly be stuck in the same place years down the road, right? Or in a worse place, a way worse place. Things can get worse. They definitely can. Or sign up for a free call where I can help you gain back your confidence, work on your relationship with your partner, build a routine that works for you and your family, and get back to enjoying your family. Gain more energy so that you can keep up with your day-to-day tasks. I know this was huge for me. That lack of energy was just robbing me, and it was so difficult. So by getting support with that, getting help with that, that was a huge, huge game changer for myself. So these are your options, is signing up and getting that help. So who is this for? So moms who are feeling overwhelmed with their day-to-day routines, moms who are ready to invest in your health and wellness. So if you're, 90 to 100% ready to commit to getting that change, right? You need to be committed to doing this. Moms who have a strong desire to make a change. Moms who are willing to learn, willing to express their feelings and concerns. So you're ready to dive into that. You're ready to dive into making the changes and figuring out what you need to do to create that support system, to create that plan that's going to work for you. And moms who want the best for your babies and family. And don't we all? That's the ultimate goal, right? To have the best for our babies and families. And by looking after ourselves, putting our own oxygen mask on first, that is then going to show our family and our children that we're taking care of ourselves, being a good role model, right? So who this is not for. This is not for you if you're okay with where you are, emotionally, physically, spiritually, if you're disrespectful of myself and my time. So I only have so much time in a day, and I'd like people to be respectful of that. Someone who is not ready to invest in their health and wellness. And this is not for people who are not ready to make a change. So if you're not ready to do that, then this is not for you. What will happen if you don't take action? So like we talked about a bit earlier, is you may end up in a deeper, more difficult anxiety. It may take you longer to bond or connect or love your baby. Again, everybody's different. You may miss milestones with your baby and or your children, being in that fog and not really connecting. Your relationship with your partner may end up in distress. You may not feel confident or fit enough to get into a bathing suit. Your baby may miss out on various outings and opportunities to grow socially. You may miss out on laughing at all of the cute and funny things that your baby and or children do and having that connection. So, a lot of those things we have talked about a bit, but yeah, those are the things that come up with people. So, I am going to put the link in the comments here to register for my peer community group program. So I'm super excited about this, ladies. This is such an amazing program. So what I want to do is I do want to share a video with you right now. I'm hoping my internet connection is going to be stable with me having the video playing at the same time as I'm streaming, but we'll see how that works. And the video I want to share with you is a lady who has gone through a very similar program and what she experienced, and her thoughts on expectations and stuff. And I just thought it was a very good so we'll get that playing here so that you can see. This is Robin. She went to the same program as the people that I've been trained in, so I hope you can see that well.
And it's just in general. I mean, everywhere you go to a lot of the mom and baby talks, and it's like everything's talked. They just talk about, baby sleeping and baby eating and baby this, and it's like everybody talks about how happy they are. You sit in those groups, and all of the moms, and you sit in these groups, and all the moms are saying, "Oh, my baby did this, and they're so wonderful, and I have so much joy in my life." And they're looking at their babies, they look at their babies, and they say, "Oh, I just can't even believe how much I love this baby, and this is, my life is so great now," and so it's hard to say, "I don't feel like that right now," when everybody else around you seems to feel like they are. There was one mom who was talking about how she was struggling so much, and that especially in the mom and baby groups, things were really, really hard for her, because she looked around and all the moms seemed so put together, and they seemed to have their lives all in order, and everything is in place, and had everything was going great for them, and it wasn't for her. And there was another mom on the other side of the room who looked at that mom and said, "Did you know I've met you before? I've met you at a mom and baby group, and you were that mom to me. I remember looking at you and saying, how does she have her shit together, her stuff together so well, and I can't." And it was sort of that realization that it's like, well, everybody's struggling in their own way, and it's just, if we would all just talk about it, and it maybe would help break down some of that expectation, and break down some of those myths that or just keep carrying down through, for all the mothers that are having babies right now.
So that's Robin and her part of her story. And she's right with the power of, I'm just going to bring my slide back up here. The power of, if we can just all talk with one another, and we can all share our stories and break down that. And that's the power of a peer support group. That's the power of a community of women getting together and talking. Oh, let's stop this. This is starting again. Oh, where's my mouth? Okay. Sorry about that, ladies. Wonderful technology, what we live. And I have this really dark so that you guys can see it better, but it's a little hard for me to see it because it kind of cuts out the glare. I hope you guys can see it. Nobody's given me any feedback on it anyways. So that video shows the power of a peer support group and how amazing that is. And I know that was a tremendous help in my postpartum journey. And I hope you can see that through the video, that by women coming together and by embracing that and starting to kind of see that other women are going through similar things, it can be very healing and very empowering. And then also learning about all of these other things. So all of these topics that we've discussed today, we'll go deeper into that through the peer community group program. I'm going to be doing modules each week based on different topics, based on what you need, your feedback, what you feel is most important. And as a founding member, you will be there. You will be able to do these modules live with me and get one-on-one support with me during those modules. And by joining as a founding member, you get an amazing discounted price. Like, amazing. It's like 70% off of what I would charge for one-on-one coaching. So that's super amazing, and that price isn't going to stay the same. It's going to go up. Now the bonus, the exciting bonus that I've been talking about and been wanting to share with you is that any of you guys that register now and register today before 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time, I will mail you one of these books. So this book, Postpartum Depression and Anxiety, it's the same book that Robin would have used in her group. It's the same book that I send out to all of my clients. It's the same book that helped me. So by registering for my peer community group program, you will get this mailed to you today, and I will mail it to you. And if you are in the States, likely you will get it within 2 days. I know I'm Northern BC, Canada, and it takes like weeks for me to get things in the mail, but that's okay. That's just one of the realities. And the internet, wonderful internet. As you've seen, we have troubles with our internet up here, but that's okay. So 2 days, you can get this book by signing up today before 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and have this book in your hands to start the program, to start learning from these modules, learning from other women. I only have 15 spots. I don't want this group to be too many people. I want it to be intimate, close, so you can learn. The thing is you can pass, you can sit there and just listen to other women's stories and feel that healing and talk when you need to talk. It's all about you. It's going to be like, as a founding member, this group is going to be about you. This is going to be about what your needs are, what you feel. It's such a powerful powerful way to heal with other women. And like Robin said in her video, and if you did miss the video, feel free to watch the replay again and go back. I can share Robin's video in the link, or in the comments. I can link her video in the comments so that you can watch it as well. If you want to see it kind of on a clearer screen rather than my screen through this screen. I hope if you can see everything there fine. So I'm so excited about this. And remember, if you are in the United States, I'm asking $47 per month for this group program, which is going to be less for you. So if you go on the page and you do a little calculation on there, I have the link, it's going to be less. So like, this is a steal of a deal. You get this book, it's mailed to you as soon as you join today. You need to join before 6 p.m. Pacific time today. And the price is going to be going up for this program on the 29th of the month. So this is a great opportunity for you to jump in and get in and get that support you need, get that help you need, get moving on. And the nice thing is I have it on a monthly basis. So you can come for the first month and see if you like it. See if it's something for you. See if you're enjoying and if you're, benefiting from it. See if you've progressed from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. And then you can unsubscribe from the program, and that's totally fine. But come and try it for the first month. Try it out and see what benefit you can get from it. Like I say, Robin, and there's so many other beautiful stories and videos I can share you of women who have gone through peer support programs. And maybe you have one in your community that you've been going through, or you've gone through. I don't. In my community, I don't have that option. So this is why I've created this for you guys, is because I know sometimes it can be so isolating, whether we're in a remote community, whether we're in a big community. Sometimes we're so isolated and we feel so alone and we're not able to get out. You can do this on your computer. You can do this on your phone from wherever you are, okay? You don't need to put on your clothes. You don't need to put on a bra. You can come on out and connect with us, right? And get that support, build that system, build that plan for yourself. And I feel that this peer community support is going to be, I feel this whole group is way more powerful even than one-on-one support, because you get to see other people's experiences, get a little piece of their story. Every piece of everyone's story is kind of like a piece of your story too, right? So that is the power in this. That is the power in a group like this, and it's amazing to have that online option to do that. And like I said, there's only 15 spots available. I'm not letting anybody come in beyond that. I don't want it to be too cluttered, too many people. I want to have lots of time for everybody to talk about and reflect on each of the modules. It's a weekly program, so once a week you have something to look forward to, connecting with other ladies online. Face-to-face, we'll be doing webinar Zoom style, so I'll be using the Zoom room so you can see the other ladies' faces as they're talking, as close to face-to-face as you're going to be getting, right? Out of the comfort of your own home. And again, like I say, the price is going up, and if you're into getting this book, sign up today before 6 o'clock. This is an amazing deal. So it's like you're getting half off of your first month. Like, what can you lose? Try it out for a month and get a free book, and that book is tremendous. It's helped me a huge amount in my community. So I think that is what I have for you guys today. So I will put the link in the comments to register. Make sure you register before 6 p.m. today, Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, because anybody who registers in that time, again, I'm giving you this book, which is sweet. It will get mailed out to you. So ladies, I'm so excited to get started with all of this, and I can't wait to have you guys joining. And as soon as you join, you're in the Facebook group, and we will get connected with all of these ladies, and we will get you the goods on the weekly calls. Okay, I am going to say goodbye, and I look forward to talking to you ladies later.